my mateys. Our version of William Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew is set in the age of pirates, in the islands of the West Indies. Lucentio, a wealthy student, arrives in Kokomo along with his trusty servant, Tranio, when they see Baptista Minola with his two daughters, the beautiful Bianca and disagreeable Caterina. Close behind are Bianca's suitors, Gremio and Hortensio. Baptista announces that no one may marry Bianca until a husband has been found for Caterina, and suggests that the suitors provide school teachers for his daughters, as that will win favor. Hortensio and Gremio decide they must work together to find a husband for Caterina, so that they will be free to compete for Bianca's hand. Lucentio, who has been watching all of this, has fallen in love at first sight with Bianca. Tranio suggests that Lucentio disguise himself as a schoolmaster and become her tutor. Tranio will pretend to be Lucentio. Petruchio, a young and restless adventurer, arrives in Kokomo with his servant Grumio. A misunderstanding leads the two old friends into a squabble, which is quickly settled by Hortensio. Petruchio informs Hortensio he has come to Kokomo to wive and thrive, and Hortensio tells Petruchio about Caterina. She is intolerably cursed, but her dowry will be enormous. Petruchio demands to see Caterina immediately, and agrees to introduce a disguised Hortensio as a tutor for the girls, so he can get closer to Bianca. At Baptista's house, Caterina is torturing her sister, demanding to know which suitor she prefers. Baptista pries the two girls apart, just as Petruchio, Gremio, and the other men arrive. After the schoolmasters have introduced themselves, Petruchio asks to meet Caterina and decides that no matter how shrewish she is, he will marry her. When Caterina arrives, the two engage in a war of words, following which Petruchio announces that he will marry Caterina the following Sunday. He departs to prepare for the wedding. Tranio, who is pretending to be Lucentio while the real Lucentio tutors and woos Bianca, and Gremio both plead for Bianca's hand in marriage. Baptista says whoever can assure Bianca the most wealth may wed her. When Lucentio claims riches far exceeding Gremio's, it is agreed that as soon as he can prove his father's consent, he may marry Bianca. Hortensio, disguised as the music instructor Licio, and Lucentio, disguised as the schoolteacher Cambio, instruct Bianca, fighting for her attention. However, when Bianca is alone with Cambio, she lets him know he should despair not. On Caterina's wedding day, all the guests gather, but Petruchio is nowhere to be found. The servant Biondello rushes in to announce Petruchio is on his way, wearing very strange clothes. He storms in, drags Caterina to the church, and carries her off to his home, shocking the other guests. At Petruchio's home, Grumio and the other servants await. When Petruchio finally arrives with Caterina, he is violent towards the servants, starves and mistreats his wife, and muses that he will continue to tame his wife until she is more obedient. Back in Kokomo, Tranio and Hortensio spy on Lucentio and Bianca, who are clearly in love. Hortensio abandons his attempts to win Bianca's heart and decides to marry a wealthy widow instead. Biondello sees an old pedant coming down the road and suggests they have him pretend to be Lucentio's father to give assurance to Baptista of Lucentio's wealth. The pedant agrees and Baptista is convinced. When Petruchio brings Caterina back home, she finally understands the obedience he requires of her. They meet Lucentio's real father, Vincentio, on the road, and continue together toward Kokomo. At Baptista's house, Vincentio meets the pedant, who has stolen his identity. Finally, Lucentio and Bianca enter and inform their parents they have eloped. After everyone has left, Caterina and Petruchio share an intimate kiss in the street. Baptista and his guests enjoy a party in honor of Lucentio and Bianca. During dinner, Hortensio's widow and Caterina get into a heated argument. After the women leave the table, their husbands make a wager over which wife will come when called. Caterina is the only woman to obey. She gives an impassioned speech about the duty women owe their husbands. All the guests are amazed. Petruchio has truly tamed his shrew.